Welcome to A Legend Talks, another live promo episode. I'm so excited. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Like I said, these are more or less test runs that we are doing. The live first episode of A Legend Talks, where we're going to jump right into the nitty gritty, will be in probably about 2 weeks. So we'll probably do one more promo episode. What are you doing? It's like black female with braids, just getting at it together. What are you doing?
Just getting locked in for a Legend Talk. Just getting excited.
All right. I see you. Well, this is going to be a shorter episode. We are just kind of getting everything together. I think that we're in a good point. Probably our last test will be maybe so that I can make sure that we can pull up pictures and stuff if need be. So we might do an episode where we'll pull up a picture or two next week, and then we'll be good to go. As long as I know that all of that stuff works, we're green lighted. So that first episode is going to be huge. I'm going to put a lot of promotion behind it. We're going to get right into the nitty gritty about it. Did you have something to say? Were you saying something?
It's going to be huge.
Oh, huge. Okay. So I've already talked about all three books. I have one of them with me today, so I will show you, what the first book. This is the unremastered copy of A Legend Story, the novel. Now, the book is going to change when you guys see the remastered version of the book, and it's going to change where the entire graphic, how it looks, is going to change. The title is going to change. It's no longer A Legend Story, the novel. It's still A Legend Story, but the subtitle is just a little different. And then you can see how thin it is. It's let's see how many words and not words, but pages it is. It runs off at 100.
You don't know how many pages it is?
I wrote 3 freaking books. Are you kidding me? With the 4th one to come. I don't remember everything. Hell, actually, I was talking to a friend. She just started she started reading the 3rd book, and she was asking me questions. I was like, I don't remember. I ain't read that shit. I wrote it all, but I don't remember anything from it. So even doing this show is going to take a lot of refresher. Like, I might ask you questions like, Mandy, what happened? What did I say? What happened inside of this chapter? Because I don't remember. Whatever. I'm not even worried about it. I think that I will do my research before we do each episode so that I know what we're going to talk about. But like I said, the entire book is going to change. It's 153 words at about 56,000. I'm sorry, 153 pages at about 56,000 words. This new remaster, I think, has about 95, maybe even 100,000 words. And I don't know how many pages because it's not printed yet. And out or released, so I don't know how many pages, but it's definitely the equivalent of being almost 2 of those books. And the thing about it is that when I published this first version, the smaller version of A Legend Story, not the remastered version, is you could probably buy it anywhere. I mean, it was available and published through Lulu Publishing, and then they had a package where they would promote it, and you can buy it through 35,000 plus retailers, which included. Is it Borders, Barnes & Nobles? One of them is no more, so one of them is still in existence, and you can buy it there. Google Books, iBooks, whatever, like eBooks. It's available so many different places. But the thing is while I'm doing this remaster, I'm only remastering it on Amazon. So I think it will only, for the remaster version, be available only on Amazon. Now, that's good news and that's bad news because the more that you get sold on a certain platform, then that opens the doors for you getting like shelf space inside of the store. But Amazon doesn't have its own store like a Barnes and Noble's, Borders kind of place. So I might look into how I can get that remaster up there if they have a free self-publishing thing as well. But I am going to promote the hell out of Amazon because that is where you can go and buy a copy of this book. For the remaster version. I still might leave it up where you can get the original version, but at some point it's just going to be down and depleted because I'd rather people see and read this remastered version because it's a lot more different. And without more different, that's not even the proper English. It's a lot different than the original one. So,
and all, ladies and gentlemen.
So, Manny, without giving detail about the story, can you talk about and find a way to secretly talk about some of the differences of the remastered and the original? How it differs in your eyes. Not like I talked about the pages and everything. Could you be less descriptive, in terms of characters and other things that are, and not delving deep into like the actual characters, because we'll have plenty of time to do that, but how you can actually talk about those differences.
Well, I mean, just without saying the differences, more characters are fleshed out. There are different things that, there are different things, different scenes, different settings that are more fleshed out. I think that you get more of, how should I say, a behind the author look at some different things that you didn't get in the original book. And that's kind of the best way that I can say it without kind of spoiling it. I mean, there's more there. It's a more kind of, the story is in depth on its own, but it gives you more background as to the pieces and parts that are going on in the remaster. So that's what I'll say without trying to spoil it for people.
Yeah, and we'll have plenty of time to delve into it. Like I said, probably that first episode, we're going to talk about the story, just a little bit about what it's about, to promote the interest of this entire series, specifically even that remaster. And then once we do that, then we'll jump into each character, finding who is that most important main character that one would talk about, because they're so unique and they're so different, but you can't really talk about them without even knowing the story about them. So are you a character in there? You are a character in there. Is that what you're referring? Yeah,
I'm telling them I'm the most important main character.
Yeah, but I wrote him into the story, not as like him personally, but just his name. So I gave his name to a character, and that's all I'll say. I don't want to go too in depth, but how'd
that work out for that character?
You're not even introduced until like book 3, I thought.
Yeah, I know, but how'd that work out for that character? Do you mind telling the people?
No, we'll wait till we get to talking about what happens in that inside of that book.
You don't want to tell the people what you did, okay?
I mean, you have a lot of anger and frustration about things that happen inside of the book. You'll have your turn to be able to voice those frustrations, and when we get to book 3, you can talk about that. And maybe if we spend the time, we really can't spend an episode talking about your character, and I think you know why. We don't have enough. To be a short episode, so that's all I'm saying. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Legend Talks. I can't wait to put up the first episode of this, and debut this show to the world, to where we can talk in depth, because it is something that I think resonates with the things that we deal with or have dealt with inside of America as people, as Americans, as individuals. And there's just so much to talk about, and I think it's a series that I think a lot of people would enjoy and be interested in, especially if you're a hardcore reader of fictional movies or fictional books or storylines, as well as thrillers. So is there anything you want to end on before we end the show here?
Yeah, you guys, I'm the main character. Obviously, it's why I'm here.
You might want to reread that book again so you know where you stand here.
Yeah, but we're excited to do a Legend Talks. Can't wait to get into more detail about the series. And before we do, guys, also feel free just to plug the book. Feel free to get it and start reading before we get into the episodes. You guys got 2 weeks now, so if you kind of want to follow along with the episodes without being totally lost, go ahead and pick up A Legend Story. Yeah. The legend continues.
And we're hitting you all with spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, like that first episode will just be a general synopsis of the storyline, but when we jump into that nitty gritty, it's nothing but spoilers. So you might want to cop a copy of the book, and start reading this so that you can kind of follow along and kind of learn more. And then that kind of gives you, especially because this is a live show, gives you an opportunity to ask questions live while we're doing this, that we can answer things that maybe we didn't get a chance to talk about. So I look forward to it. I want to thank Manny for being on the Legend Talks as my co-host for the show. And I look forward to seeing you guys in 2 weeks. And that's all I have. Check us out soon.